this is Christine again. For today's video in Cuadernos, we will talk about how to be a responsible Filipino citizen or a voter in general. Just a disclaimer before we get started that this is just me stating or rather expressing my opinion and thoughts about this particular topic. I believe the important thing we should always keep in mind every time the election comes in our country, and as decent Filipino citizens, is how important it is that we are always being observable, critical, know how to analyze things, avoid being biased, and learn from the information and sources first, because it's in our hands how our country will transform in the future. That's why we are called a democratic country for a reason. We have the freedom and right to choose who is deserving of the different positions in the government. If we do not think and choose carefully, we are the ones putting risks to our fellow men, and we are also going to suffer because of the actions of these people that we elect or voted for. It's either they don't do their part in our country or they fail to do so. Voting and electing righteous people are essential in a democracy. Another thing, we must ensure fraud-free and fair elections at all times. As a millennial in this society, it's our role to make our voices heard. By using our social media platforms, we can inform, share knowledge and opinions, educate many people by sharing facts and credible sources. In doing this, we can help them to become more aware of the person they are going to vote, like the agendas they plan to conduct in our country. Plus, it can also prevent people from spreading fake news. Remember, we are not voting just because that person has a rich family background, is well known in the industry, is famous, or is a person who has money. We are electing people based on their ability to become a leader, who has the credentials, educational background, and what they can offer for the better of our country, so that they can be an inspiring role for many Filipinos. We don't need any more corruption and injustice system in our government. This is the right time to make a change. Our country is still suffering from poverty, some that lack access to education and necessities. So this time, let's all do our part and become responsible for the benefit of our people. So, I find this article on ways how to pick a candidate adapted from the League of Women Voters of Massachusetts that we can apply in voting here in the Philippines, and it can also serve as a helpful tips as well. Step 1 is to study the campaign. Candidates can be judged in two ways: the positions they take on issues and the leadership qualities and experience they would bring to the office. Both are important. Your first step is to decide which issues you care about and the qualities you want in a leader. When you consider issues, think about community, state, and national problems that you want people in government to address. Step 2. Look at campaign information. Gather information about the candidate. There are a variety of sources where you can find information, including campaign websites and social media, campaign literature, direct mail letters sent to targeted voters asking for support, press releases, radio and television ads, candidate speeches, and candidate debates. Almost all candidates now have websites and many are on social media, such as Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter, because these are the most direct ways to engage with voters searching for information. So you should find the most comprehensive list of positions on these sites. Step 3. Understand the issues. Examine the issues that are important to you. Decide what changes you feel that your community and country need most. What do you want to keep the same? Which of your interests are served by the programs each candidate is proposing? As you ponder, weigh alternatives, listen to people on both sides of the issue. Look at cause and effect. Consider what you have to trade off to get what you want. Step number 4. Evaluate the candidate's stance on issues. Examine the candidate's leadership abilities and learn how other people view the candidates. By seek the opinions of others in your community who keep track of political campaigns, learn about endorsements, and find out where the candidates get the funds to finance their campaigns. Step number 5 is rate the debate. Rate the debate by format. A good format should be interesting and fair, should provide information about the candidates and issues, and should help you judge the candidate's leadership abilities. Does it hold your interest? Does it allow the differences between the candidates to surface? Does it make it easy for the candidates to discuss the issues and respond to opponents? As you watch, be aware of your reactions both to the substance of the candidates' remarks and the visual images that are conveyed. They can be powerful. Clearly, the power of images can cause voters to overlook what is being said. Are you influenced by the age, sex, clothes, or physical characteristics of the candidates? Who appear more relaxed, more sincere, more confident? Who uses television better by looking directly at you, for example? In judging substance, decide who answers or evades the questions. Do the candidates tell you their stance on the issues? Or do they respond with emotional appeals or slogans? If anyone attacks his or her opponent, is it personal or directed at the other candidate's policies? Do the candidates seem well informed and give answers consistent with previous positions? Are their answers realistic, or are they just campaign promises? Step 6. Sort it all out. Review the information you have collected and ask yourself these final questions. Which candidate's views on the issues do I agree with most? Who ran the fairest campaign? Which candidate demonstrated the most knowledge of the issues? And which candidate has the leadership qualities I am looking for? Is the choice clear? Then pick a candidate. Step number 7 is to register to vote. And lastly, step number 8 is to vote on the candidate you've selected, like the person who stands out the most for you based on the standards or qualities you are looking for. I hope in my little ways this can serve as a reminder and an eye-opener for many people. I've realized how important it is that we practice and acquire such qualities to become responsible voters, because doing this should be taken seriously. We are electing people who will rule and manage our country for the next 6 years. So we must think, choose carefully, and we should elect people who are deserving to be in a position. The Philippines need leaders who will help it improve and grow more in different aspects, in terms of economy, education, the justice system, health and well-being of the Filipinos, a solution to poverty, freedom, rights, and much more. These are the subjects we should focus on and give importance to, because this is what most people need, and these are the things that have been taken away from them. I wanted to see our country change for the best, to fight for the equal rights of many people, to give importance to our laborers and agricultures, to support our own local produce, and to give voice to the voiceless in our society. Us Filipinos are all fighting for the same purpose and eagerness to elect a person who can give the Philippines and its people a much better treatment, a better life in the future, and someone who can truly listen to them.